We'll start with NFA over there. Would love a brief intro of yourself in the space, and then take about 3 to 5 minutes to kind of summarize your project as much as possible. I know we're gonna have an opportunity to unpack the rest of it later, but I just want you to captivate the audience and try to get some retention. NFA.
Perfect, perfect. Yeah, thank you so much for having us here. So it's myself and one community member that comes on these things with me. Reality Bites, he's on the mic too. Myself, I started in the capital market sector. I got into blockchain a couple of years ago. I was doing my master's, and my thesis actually was on the application of blockchain within the banking sector. So that's when I really, I used to use it a little bit for gaming and stuff a couple of years before, but I really jumped in 2017, 2018, doing my own research on seeing where it could be applied. Since then, I've had quite a journey. Just like everyone, SHIB, Cult. I've invested in both of those. I got them pretty early. But now I'm trying to, launch something that I think is kind of needed within the space. And it's been a long year of building, but it's pretty fun to kind of be at the market side of things. And yeah, that's pretty much everything about me. Reality, you want to jump in?
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, guys, it's awesome to be a part of this AMA. I mean, look at the people we're surrounded with. We're absolutely blessed. Really lucky to be on the platform with you guys. So really appreciate that. My name's Mr. Bytes. Essentially, I started in crypto very much like Mr. C back in the bull run, like everybody else, trying to throw money at something that only goes up. Of course, I learnt the hard way, as many people do, and I've learned a lot of things really, really quickly. So I think that was about September, October 2021. So it's got to be a year and a half now. And geez, man, it pretty much it's my whole entire life. I mean, this is what I do now full time. So personally, as Bumba mentioned, NFA, I've been with the project with these guys as a community member from the start. I've been running with AMAs and co-hosting with NFA because I couldn't be more bullish on a project as I am on this. I mean, I'm sure you're going to hear everything about it. It's absolutely freaking awesome. So I'm super excited to be part of it, and that's pretty much all about me.
Awesome. Well, with the headliner being Colt, our other two projects get a little summary right at the beginning to kind of rope in the audience and tell us a summary of NFA Labs and what you guys are doing over there. I would love an intro, or at least you to introduce me to Athena a little bit.
Of course, of course. Absolutely. Do you want me to jump in our intro right now, or do you want to wait for everyone else?
No, go ahead and do
All
that right
right,
now.
perfect, perfect. So, over at NFA, we've been around, been public. So this is week 4, but it feels like a year. It's been kind of crazy in the last little bit. We're a small team of pretty much just data geeks. This thing started a while ago, where I personally was trying to figure out, if there's a way to apply algo trading, machine learning and algo trading to the cryptocurrency sector. I had terrible results initially. It was like maybe like I was accurate about 30% of the time. So I started reaching out to a couple of friends that I met over the years that had the same interest, and it kind of became kind of a little bit of a hobby, where we keep tweaking and tweaking and adding to this model and figuring out ways that we could kind of increase the accuracy, increase the profitability of it. And finally, we as going through this process of researching and trying things out, we figured out, okay, well, we need to build a neural net. And so what a neural net is, and I'm sure a lot of the people on this call have not heard about that yet. But because I haven't seen any other projects that even are attempting to do a neural net. They're very hard to build. They are very expensive, very hard. But what they do is they mimic the brain. So, say you are, whatever you're doing, your brain works in a way that you have inputs, outputs, but then there's a layer where you prioritize things. So, if you're sitting at your in your home, and your dog is barking and your child is crying, you'll prioritize which one you'll look at first. The same thing applies in trading. Traders, when they sit in front of a trading screen, may have 10, 20, 30 different indicators, But when they make a decision on to go long, short, exit, or enter a trade, they do that by prioritizing what they see in front of them. So the neural net kind of builds upon that idea of how the brain works. In that we have our input layers, which we can't of course tell you guys exactly what algorithms are in there, but we have our hidden layer, which is what we're trying to build out. That's the expensive part. We had kind of like an MVP of a most viable product that was built and was pretty successful at the near the end, but with about a 70% accuracy in back testing. Live, we did a 7 day live during the launch. I think we got a what was it 6x on our capital, which was really cool. But right now we're optimizing kind of the code to be faster, so we can basically put in trades, more limit trades, not more market trades. Optimization for slippage, all of those things. One coding language as opposed to multiple coding languages. Things that we didn't anticipate that we'd actually be as well known in the last just 3 weeks. Reaching a market cap, I think right now, I don't really look at price action, but I think we're over 12,
14 million.
14 million. So we're at 14 million in a couple weeks. That doesn't usually happen. But we've been basically gathering. Our vision is like it's the concept of a decentralized hedge fund. The concept of within DeFi, we find it's a mirror of the financial world. So we have custodial programs, we have lending, we have savings, we have all of these different things that mimic financial institutions within the cult itself is a VC, right? Essentially, if it was an IRL, right? But DeFi is supposed to mimic that sector, the IRL sector. We noticed that there are no hedge funds. And it's weird that hasn't happened. And the hedge fund industry is trillions of dollars. Owns the most assets in the world, and all of them are backed by algos, right? And so we said, well, hey, how can we build a decentralized version of this where everyone gets a piece of the pie, and we are able to build a powerful system behind that, backed by academic research, and hand over the keys. Is that possible? And that's what that idea of shooting for the stars and gathering the smartest people that we can in the DeFi sector has, I think, attributed to our really like successful run in the last couple of weeks. We've never been like most projects where we're pushing people to buy. We don't ask people to buy. I always say that we want your minds first before your wallets. And the rest of my team, there's about 10 of us strong, and we've been actually getting on some new hires, given that we've been a bit more successful and we were scaling up. But everyone attests to that. We want people who are curious. We want people to come in, ask questions. We want people to challenge us, and it just makes us all better. But for us, it's about spreading the idea before price action.
Yeah, absolutely. And when I was reviewing and doing a little research, I did enjoy your principles, and I think that was one of the core principles in there. So, yeah, focus on collaboration and innovation before price in general.
Yep.
I think everyone in this room is going to be really excited for what you guys have to share later. So, all right, we're going on to our next AMA here. We are going to pull up NFAi Labs. How are we doing, NFAi?
Not bad, not bad. The great presentation over there, Cult. The one thing I'd like to say is that the tenets of old DeFi, when it came to making things that are more selfless, giving back to the community, not creating a pyramid scheme, which a lot of projects are. It's something that the market is actually hungry for. I mean, even in our own launch, we're going into week 4 now, and just by being transparent, by being honest, and bringing a good idea to the market, I think we're what, like 38% of Cult DAO's market cap in a couple weeks, and it just shows how hungry people are for true DeFi. So love what you guys are doing over there, and yeah, I hope more teams take that approach, as opposed to building essentially pyramid schemes. Reality, you want to jump in and say something?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'm doing really well. I mean, to be honest, my phone locked and I couldn't get it unlocked whilst I was trying to chat earlier. So, yeah, that's. I mean, these guys from Coda are awesome. From the start, I've been part of that project as an investor, and it's just been going strength for strength. So, it's interesting, to be honest. What NFAi says in respect to market cap. I mean, as you say, week 4, I think we're touching 14 million at the moment, and just having a little look at the members, the growth we've had on holders, on TG members, Discord members, Twitter followers over the last 3 or 4 weeks, it's just been absolutely phenomenal. I mean, Discord, which is something completely different in this kind of project. Normally you'd expect a Telegram, 770 Discords in just a week or two so far, and 2,506 TG members on a TG that's not even open yet is incredible. It's just I mean, really excited, and yeah, it's really good to hear from Colton and Mr. C and the rest of them about what they're doing.
Absolutely. You guys are having a ride right now. You're doing very well. And it's one of my favorite parts. You mentioned it. You guys, it's not that you don't care about price. You're not worried about the price right now because you're trying to win mines, not bags. And you really just want to push your project forward. And, doing the research, I jumped on the website. The first thing you guys says is join our experiment. Well, I would have to say your experiment's going fairly well over there. What do you think?
Honestly, it's been going well. I mean, I'll be honest. We thought that wouldn't get as much exposure, especially during a bear market. Go back to my early comments on people's thirst for true DeFi. We anticipated a very small, a much smaller launch, much smaller market cap. I mean, I think yesterday I think we touched I want to say 17 for a bit, 17 or 18, and it's crazy how hungry people are out there for fresh ideas, and for especially the way that we do things. We take an academic approach, of course, in how we do everything. We're very careful. We love our risk management team especially. What I like to say is that we run this. We're a business. I came from the business world. There's other guys within the team that come from the business world, and a lot of projects out there do not operate like a business. They focus more on telling people to go and get someone else to buy their coin. They don't actually bring any utility that doesn't require increased members, which again is a pyramid scheme. So with us, how our ecosystem works, and we put out our ecosystem diagram last week, I believe. What we have basically done is that we are so how hedge funds usually work. They're usually available only to high net worth people with a lot of connections. We personally, well, the whole team shares this, is that we think that that's wrong. That everyone should have the ability to have exposure to algo trading. And if you are a trader and a depth trader, and maybe traders can even speak to this later, but you are able to identify what are called algo or institutional candles. So you'll see these before major events, especially black swan events. FTX was a good example of that. If you look at the candles right before, usually within the waterfall, the first couple are the algos, institutional algos, and then you have after that your elite traders, right? So then everyone else kind of FOMOs in on the up or the down, right? So many people don't understand that within trading, like within the cryptocurrency market, there are institutions. A lot of it, who's on the other side of your trade, and a lot of it is very, very complex algorithms that pretty much ensure that you can't win. You can't really beat these guys. These are projects that. Sorry, 1 second. Coinbridge.
I don't mean to kill your flow. Reality, if you don't mind muting between speaking, I'm just getting a little reverb.
Sorry, man.
It's all good. I have like ADHD and I can't pay attention.
My fault.
It's all
Thanks,
good,
brother.
man. I appreciate it. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll keep going on. But yeah, so how we done things is that Athena is our trading algo, and the joke I make is that whenever I was making bots at work or even through this process, I like to give them names because it's when they mess up, you got to yell at them, right? So you got to yell at them. And so I've called Athena some very terrible things throughout this process, and I'm sure all the team has. But we chose Athena, of course, goddess of wisdom, and ATH is an Athena. It's really cool. But Athena is a neural network that we're building, and so as I said before, we believe that the advantage that we only get one shot at basically building an algo. We're a small team, no VC funding. We haven't, we did this grassroots through our own money, and it's because of that we had to go with, okay, what is the best chance that we have at fighting against these institutional algos on behalf of the DeFi community. And the advantage that we found through our research is that, of course, there's machine learning, looking for predictive, patterns and being able to move on these patterns. Very, very successful, very common. There's also, of course, your indicator style bots, which again have some success. But what a neural network allows you to do, if you remember at the outset, I mentioned that three-layered system with a neural network. Your input layer allows you to put in basically anything. So you put in your any algorithm, any machine learning type of execution. You can also put in sentiment analysis, which is pretty popular, not within crypto, and pretty useful within crypto. So our hypothesis, though, is that we can put in this algo, can we give it away to the community, but also can the community, according to what's called efficient market hypothesis, which is basically the price represents all information within the market. So if we have 1,000 people or 10,000 people or 100,000 people within our project, and we are able to have them be one of the input layers, so our DAO be one of the input layers, will they be able to beat the market as a group, in addition to all the mathematics that are within the input layer and weighed against through the prioritization process within the hidden layer? How does the hidden layer work? Basically, what it does is that using an API that feeds in data, you are running a consistent 2-year back test. So a rolling back test. So every second, that 2 years kind of moves along, and you keep running that back test over and over and over again. And so if you have, say, for instance, a machine learning outlay, sometimes that can break, right? Because the time series or the data within the that's pulling the machine learning, it's changes slightly over time. So how do you hedge against that? And it's again, and this is why human traders, there are elite human traders that are able to adapt on the fly and beat the market, is because they prioritize different indicators and different things that are important to them. And that is what I think would give our AI outlook, our AI execution, a bit more of an advantage than your traditional machine learning only or indicator only type of outlays, because as that data moves forward in time and that backtest is running on the fly, the there's what's called a stochastic gradient method, where there's it's very complicated mathematics, but right now we're having to do it by hand, which takes hours. But the once we're done, it'll be able to be done in seconds. There's a lot of research within our Discord if you ever want to come by and take a look. But one of the academic papers that I do pass around to anyone who's interested is I think it was done by the University of Ottawa within the data science department. They did essentially the same thing, and but with equities data, and they were able to get an accuracy of between 85, maxed out 96% accuracy with a neural net. They did neural net 10 input nodes, 20 input nodes, and I think 30 input nodes. 30 input nodes was the highest, 96% accuracy. Us doing our neurals by hand, we were consistently around 70, 75. But which is really good. I mean, if you look at if you know anything about hedge funds, on the street they'll put out an algo if it's 65% accuracy in a back test, which doesn't translate perfectly to 65% live, but it allows for enough of a delta that they're over 50%. Because we have one shot, they can put out 20, 30 algos. They have the money to do that. We get one. So we have to be a little bit higher. And we were able to get at one time, and we celebrated like crazy because we did it, we pulled it off. We did once we got our back test and it was 83%. Now think about that. So humans were able to get 83%. We think we're pretty good at what we do. Um, but the academic researchers, when they did their neural nets against the equities market, 96%. And that just shows the delta between human ability and uh, algo ability. And so, machine neural nets have been around since um, World War II. The concept, I think, just out of World War II, the concept came out, and neural nets have been applied in finance within the equities market for decades. If you understand BlackRock Aladdin, for instance, owns AUM is trillions dollars, started in the 80s, the end of the 80s, and is still today the most accurate market predictor because they built it in similar to a neural where they can consistently add more nodes, more input, more ways of looking at the market and executing, and then of course prioritizing all of those layers or those nodes within the hidden layer. We're not going to build a lot. I mean, we'd love to, but what we're trying to do is build something that's scalable, that's malleable and flexible, that gives DeFi a fighting chance to fight these algos that have been pointed at us and that not many people are aware about. And so that's why we did it without VC funding. That's why we used our own money. That's why we used a lot of our time. And honestly, we didn't even anticipate taking this to market. We were just doing it for fun. And then once we got to a certain point, we're like, man, we have to help. We could have taken this to, JP Morgan or something, just sold it without having to do, giving them the bones and let them run with it. But instead, we're like, hey, let's see if we can build something or create a concept and prove it so that other teams that maybe are better than us could build upon that idea. And then we have more decentralized versions of hedge funds that can attack the market too on behalf of DeFi. So that's I guess our biggest pitch. Reality, you want to step in? Is there anything I missed?
Uh, wow, I'm sitting here getting more bullish on this, and I've been following it since day one. You pretty much nailed everything, man. I mean, I've got a bunch of notes here from our previous AMAs and everything like that, and you just got it all out in one. I think for me, when I listen to this kind of thing, and I mean, we've got a lot of different people that invest into crypto, and there are people that really get into depth on the nooks and crannies of the project, and then there are those who just want to know, what it does, what am I buying, what am I getting out of it. I tend to be one of those people, and I think that's what makes us quite good when we're chatting, because for me, what goes into the background is absolutely incredible. And someone talked earlier about having a gigabrain and passion, and there's absolutely no doubt, listening to Bumba here, that you get both of those. I mean, and this is one of the greatest things for me, listening to him and listening to everything else like that. It just absolutely, it blows my mind. So he definitely has the passion. And going back to what I was saying with respect to simplifying things, what you're getting, you're investing into a coin, into a token that is essentially allowing you to become part of the DAO. That this Athena, which is being created by a bunch of gigabrains, which is proven now, will essentially generate money by buying and selling the chart based on loads and loads, like a year or more of studies, APIs, of all this data that these guys have put in and manually put in, and eventually what that's going to do is create a big enough return, and that money is going to go a portion, depending on the staking, etc., which I'm sure we can get into, is going to be paid back into the holders. So ultimately, the more you hold, the more money you will get back. And I believe that'll be via ETH and be USD. So you don't have to sell the token. Essentially, you'll have currency that you can obviously cash out or reinvest into. And because of that, the amount of buyers that are now putting in serious amounts of money, because people can see that this is something that is really different to what everybody else is doing, and I think the timing of this, obviously the AI market's ridiculous at the moment. There are projects with no substance at all going crazy, and here we have a team of 10 people or more who have put in so much work. This is literally at the start of what this is going to be, and people are seeing this, and they're putting in real serious investment money, because of what is yet to come out of this. And I just think it's incredible. So everything that has been said, in the technical side of it, is super impressive, and I will never get my head around that because that's not my side of things. But hearing it over and over and over again really solidifies how much work has gone into creating Athena. Now, sooner or later, whenever that time may be, which I don't know as well, but I'm sure the team are getting to that. Once this thing comes out, everybody that is invested is going to be super thankful that they got in this early. Because if something crazy, and I won't mention the AI projects, can go into the 40-50 million for generating essentially nothing, and we've got an AI bot created by hedge fund specialists, finance specialists, scientists, AI specialists, that is going to create and buy and give you back ETH. I mean, why the heck wouldn't you buy it? And so that's my side of it. That's how I feel about the project. That's why I love to come on and talk to everybody about it, because it just gives you another perspective of somebody's point of view on the project, and really a bit of a simplified way of how it works. So yeah, that's all I'm going to add to that. I'm sure there's a lot more to come.
Of course,
Talking
of course.
about the AI market in general within the crypto sphere, I was just, on your website, there's some details, like maybe a little bit of SWOT analysis. You guys named some other businesses or projects out there with that are much bigger at this time. And I think it was right underneath the title, "You're early, bro," right? You guys are sitting at a 13 million market cap, which in this space right now, in this bear market, for a lot of decentralized finance investors, can seem like a big market cap. But you guys really paint a picture of scalability and opportunity on your website. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, like that. Actually, you kind of took that from. I was just about to jump in on that. I think one of the guys. I'm just pulling them up right now. NMR. Really good project. They are basically pointing their algos at the equity market. They have a market cap right now of 133 million is what I'm seeing, and they are. Let's see if I go to their fund. 1 second. Their fund returns, they're giving like holders of NMR are getting a return of approximately, it's 12.21% per annum per year. So be that per annum 12% return, the market comp is over 100 million, right? And so I'd say 12% per annum is a it's a good thing to beat. Especially, I mean, our last live test was very great. I mean, I at the time, I think once we were done, the first week, we were at a market cap of 3 million, and we had a war chest of 300K. If we had put our war chest in at a average of 6x leverage over those 7-day period instead, we would have had $1.8 million to buy and burn our token versus a market cap of 3 mil. And if we had really pushed it and went for towards 20x leverage, we would have had $36 million to buy and burn our own token. That's the power of what we're trying to do here. As this algo learns over time, and you like, the ideal scenario for us is to have these massive buy and burns happening, and then also have the dual track where you can either hold on to the token and stay completely liquid and benefit from buy and burns, and then also have the opportunity to stake your tokens and not lock staking, which I hate. I think lock staking is a scam. Liquid staking, which allows you to withdraw your funds, if we're not performing in the way that you think we should. We don't think that anyone should be held hostage in any project, and that's how we built it. We built it in a way that even a hedge fund itself, when you invest into a hedge fund, in traditional markets, you put your money in, and that money is used to fund investments. We fund our trading and our experiments by the taxation of the token, right? So by the taxes collected, and we are giving back, once, so, of course things go up and down, but any revenue that is created is given back in not our own token in Ethereum, right? So that is exactly how we built this, in a way that our performance determines the success, and it's not chilling, and it's not some sort of smoke and mirror. So there are certain things that we released, kind of also our kind of a phase two plan. We're going to be building something on an L2, and that we're going to be basically building something that hedges against uh, the our own system. So it allows for second flow of revenue right back to the NFA holders. And we're going to be getting started on, well, we're in the preliminary stage of that, but we're going to be full court press on that once we're done, phase one. And yeah, like we're having fun. I mean, this is our passion, and we just wanted to prove the concept that you can create something that is an actual business that extracts value from other markets. I like to call Athena essentially an oil rig that we will use to drill Ethereum and give it back to the holders.
That's super interesting. And, obviously, I think there's a couple more elements of why the investors' interest portion. But before we get into that, I think the end goal is to create Athena and kind of just release her to do her own thing in a fashion, so you can have a little bit more bandwidth to build some other things. And on your website, it mentioned things of like secret DApps to magnify burns and things of that nature. Am I getting the right impression?
Exactly. You are, and that goes to our phase two project. I can't reveal what it is, obviously, but it's something that uh, it's related, but it's a hedge. It's something that will allow for more consistent revenues regardless of market paradigm, right? So whether market's bullish or bearish, and that was kind of how we started off with Athena 2. You being able to take long and short positions is quite ideal. A lot of people are long only within this market. You need to be able to short too, and not everyone is comfortable doing that. So being able to have something that doesn't sleep consistently, has no emotion, is very, very cool. And then being able to use the DAO to have what's called sentiment analysis. So if to be able to influence a little bit what decisions are made by this bot over time. It's a very, very cool experiment, I'd say.
Yeah, no, I'm on 100% agree with you. I think it's fascinating what you guys are doing over there with the Athena bot in the futures. So I'm honestly glad I got an opportunity to really dive deep and do my research and have you guys up here. A lot of times this is my stage to be able to actually do research on projects. And other than that, I'm just fully focused and trying to grind for, the platform itself. So no, that's out. So here's a novice question, or I guess a beginner's question for you. What is the DYDX bronze trading like?
Oh yeah, if you're a trader in DYDX, there's three tiers. So when you start off, you're bronze, then you go to silver, then gold, then at the top you get hedgies. And so basically, you have there's thousands of people within this program, and it was a good way for us to test how we were doing, to see if we were beating actual humans, right? It's one thing, to trade. We would do internally. I would trade against Athena on my own to see if I'd beat Athena, and in the beginning I could, now I can't. And I curse myself every time I take a decision that's against Athena, then Athena wins. And I just stopped. I stopped trying. But it's like you build it to beat one person, you beat it to build 10, and then you keep going. And so that in addition, DYDX just have the best platform for algo trading, in our opinion. It's very, very algo friendly, and it's completely decentralized. We're anti centralized exchanges. We're anti all of that. So we wanted to do everything in the true principle of decentralized finance, and they were kind of the best ecosystem to do our experiments within.
Super interesting. Yeah, I wasn't familiar with that league. Obviously, you guys have a tremendous amount of experience in that space, so bringing that value to us here today. Let's talk a little bit more about the tokenomics of hashtag NFAi. Can you get into the tokenomics, the launch, the supply, what chain, the taxes currently in place, and then the investors' interest? I know we touched on some things already, but go ahead and recap.
Yeah, of course. So if you're looking for any more information, all of our white paper, our Medium, we kind of do a deep dive into everything, and you can find that at NFAi. When it comes to tokenomics, we launched 100 million supply. We didn't want it to have any sort of high supply gimmicky system, so we just went with 100 million. Easy math whenever you're looking at the price. Except we've already burned 3% of that, and our token tax is sitting at 6 in and out. No transfer taxes. I say that in the Discord. I think transfer taxes are scams. So it's just buy and sell. We focus on volume, and that's used for the algo funding. That's used for development, and we use it for liquidity initially. What we're doing as we've scaled up is that we're going to be bootstrapping liquidity coming very soon, and that's going to be part of our staking program that we've announced. Of course, we want to make sure things are once the theme is out, we have to basically do more live testing of the new and improved version, and then of course you have to have your auditing and whatnot happen. We're having our first audits done on some of our stuff. I think Certic, I don't know, reality, if you checked lately, I think Certic was at like 72% or something done.
Yep.
Yeah, so we got our Certic on the way. Yeah, that NFA token, NFAi token gives you the full benefit of whatever we're building. So whether we're not if we're within the Athena side of things, it allows you to benefit from those buy and burns. It also allows you to benefit from the staking side of things, and some jurisdictions you're not allowed to stake, so we want to have a dual path. For we don't want to leave any robots behind, is what we try to say. And then on top of that, you are also getting the benefit once we go and complete phase 2 of that second revenue stream, which will be put directly back again into bind burns and that staking outlay. And with the DAO, we to allow full control, our idea is that we're going to have the DAO decide on the percentage that is sent into buy and burns and the percentage that is sent into the staking protocol. So yeah, lots on the way. We've got a lot of upcoming announcements. It's a big month for us. But yeah, full steam ahead, full court press, and hopefully we can create something completely new that changes the way things are done within the DeFi space.
Well done, guys. Reality, you want to add anything?
Just a small thing as well, which I'm sure if you've been following the Twitter and Discord, you would have seen the window, which is essentially a screen that gives everybody an update and the progress on how Athena is doing. And I think Bumba mentioned earlier about being transparent. So once the DAO will be able to see the wins, the losses, and all of the trades simply by a GUI or the user interface. So you'll be able to see the profit that it's making on a daily basis, what it's trading, when it's winning, when it's losing, and those kinds of things. And I think it's good for the investors to know exactly where the money is, what it's doing, how it's working, and obviously, when that's working well, which obviously that's the plan, as to the amount of money that's going into the pool as well. So I think that's a really cool thing because, as I said in another AMA earlier, it's one thing to have a team working in the background, and then there's the community. This kind of puts the two together, and it really allows everybody that is invested to see what is going on in the background. And I like to call it a window, and because ultimately that's what it is. It's really showing the progress of Athena and what she's doing.
No, and it's funny. You said that our MVP didn't really have that. We were building and using it, and yeah, there's a lot of back end code that you see. You have your console, and your console showing what are called start keys, which allow, if anyone saw them, they will be able to take over the system. So you can't have that console right in front of everyone. And a lot of people are like, man, like we like your idea, or even we don't like your idea, but there's this poor, how are we going to be able to watch it? And we don't believe in negative feedback loops or positive feedback loops. We love feedback regardless. And a lot of people were telling us in the day one, that's something that they'd want to see. And we listened to the community, and it was a smart idea. And we went ahead and we're like, we need to have a dashboard that pulls from the API of whatever decentralized trading platform we're going to be using. This thing can be deployed on multiple. That's the plan. And it's important, I think, for us to be honest. I mean, I want everyone to see not just a success, but also failure. That's just part of the process. And it's out there for the whole world to see. And I think that's kind of brings back to like old school DeFi, where it's just you're out there, you're experimenting, you're having fun, and you're just putting it all out there. And I think that's what's needed right now.
A bunch of giga brains out there having a ton of fun making money in crypto. That's you guys are doing it well, man. I check your Twitter. I was running through the news feeds. Just a lot of positivity, good energy. We had some good conversation when you had first reached out or we first connected. So, yeah, I love the energy over there. I love the attitude. Love what you guys are building. Way above my head, man. I'm not a developer by any means. I love crypto. I invest. I follow. I speak a little bit, but that's about it. So kudos to you guys on the ability to build. I think you guys mentioned it, and I caught it briefly. Where's the community? Where can the listeners go to interact with your team?
Yeah, of course. So we kind of flip things on its head. Our Telegram group is closed, will remain closed. So we are there, but if you just want to see announcements, that's where you go. But if you want to actually participate, which we love, come in, ask questions, take a load off, check it out. It's on our Discord, which you can find. Just go to our Twitter profile. I think is it NFALabs.discord.gg. I'm not sure, but it's right there. And yeah, come on in, and we love to have you, and we consider you a part of the community, whether or not you hold a token.
Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, up in the Jumbotron, I did pin a tweet from your main Twitter handle up there, and that's where I did my research. I gathered all the information I have today, and it has all the links, excuse me, and the resources you need to do your own research on NFAi Labs and Athena. All right, so go up there, make sure you put a follow on them, give it a retweet, engage if you like what you heard, jump into their Discord. NFAi Labs, reality. It was a pleasure. Thank you very much for coming up on stage today and presenting. You guys have a fantastic project. You presented yourself very well. Super bullish on you guys.
Appreciate you taking the time for us.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Your energy is awesome. It really is. Yep. It's contagious, and it is really good to be on an AMA with such energy, such good listeners, such a good platform, and yeah, really appreciate it. So, yeah, definitely jump on the Discord. It is one of the best Discords. You will see some of the rooms in there are very, very different. So it is discord.gg/NFAi Labs. Jump in, have a look. Please come along and say your piece, have your word, because Telegram's closed, and of course Discord's well open, and everyone's always there. So this has been awesome. It really has. Really have a fun channel, yeah.
We have a fun channel. Come in and post some fun. Get in there.
That's exactly what I was alluding to. It is. It's really fun, actually. It's good because you're not getting all of the normal Telegram clutter that you would. You're just getting real people that are talking about the project, and as I say, the team's always there answering questions, and it's not flooded by a lot of other stuff. So thank you very much for having us. It's been very good. Very, very good.
It's been a pleasure. Thanks so much.
Yeah, our pleasure.